recent years, we have seen the United States take military actions against quite a handful of countries, such as the 2018 Tomahawk strikes against that of Syria, the 2003 invasion of Iraq, and the 2001 invasion of Afghanistan following the September 11th attacks. However, the United States never formally declared war on any of these countries, and hasn't had a proper declaration of war since World War II. We all know the declarations of war against Nazi Germany and Japan in World War II, and the war against Britain in 1812. But there's also one other country that isn't frequently as guessed. Austria-Hungary. Back in World War I, the United States joined the Allies and declared war on the European Empire, and the conflict was met with Austria-Hungary's defeat. But this conflict was over a century ago. So where does the present-day Austria currently stand with the United States? Welcome back to the U.S. Relations series, in which today we'll be going over the relationship between that of the United States of America and their European country of Austria. The Austro-Hungarian Empire recognized the independence of the United States in 1797, but diplomatic ties between the two weren't established until over 40 years later in 1838. For the next 79 years, relations between the two remained relatively good, but also pretty bland as well. Very little trade and meetings existed between the two during this period, but they still held a very positive note with one another. But relations between the two soon hit a dip once World War I broke out. The United States of America declared war on Austria-Hungary in 1917 due to the empire being a military pawn of that of Germany, and as a way to protect the Italian front from collapsing. The cumulative amount of countries surrounding Austria-Hungary on all fronts forced the empire to then surrender on November 3rd of 1918. You know what? Russia's here. I can't do this war anymore. I'm gonna head out of here. Well, that, I am screwed. Although, immediately after the war, the US still held positive relations with Austria. This was because Austria-Hungary didn't attack or threaten any US citizens, and the two's war was mainly political and not personal. Then things took another dip in 1938 when Nazi Germany annexed and absorbed Austria, right before the start of World War II. One fall in Germany and 2 nukes later, the 4 Allied powers of the United States, the Soviet Union, the United Kingdom, and France split up Austria and its capital into 4 zones of occupation, similar to what was done to Germany at the end of the war as well. This division made Austria one of the potential hotspots for a potential conflict during the Cold War, with both the United States and the USSR trying to influence the country. 10 years later, the 4 Allied powers signed the Austrian State Treaty, which ended the post-war occupation and made Austria a neutral state and gave the country full independence. Even after the occupation ended, the United States still played a large role in the reconstruction of the country that was caused by World War II. Now flash forward to today, and the two countries still have healthy, close ties with one another. Austria is part of the European Union, which offers the United States to open up many business opportunities within the country, and many American-made products are manufactured in Austria. Austria also acts as a mediator between the US-backed West and the Russian-backed East. This is due to Austria's neutral stance in terms of military alliances. The United States and Russia have respected Austria's neutrality since the previous mentioned Austrian State Treaty of 1955. Trade does exist between the two countries, with the United States being Austria's 2nd largest export and 7th largest import partner. At the time of this video's upload, relations between the United States and modern-day Austria have existed for just under 75 years, and the two have embassies within each other's capital cities. Even with having 2 wars between the two countries, if you would even count World War II as a war between them, and even with a 10-year-long occupation, Austria and the United States still have a friendly relationship, and that likely isn't going to change anytime soon. Thank you guys for watching the US Relations series. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for our next video of the US Relations series, which will go over the relationship between that of the United States of America and the country of Azerbaijan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys soon.